Hi, and welcome to English channel. Are you learning English? Great. Let's learn English with a very interesting story. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. Let's get started. 1. Introduction. Have you ever wondered why the Colosseum has such a powerful name? In the heart of Rome, Italy, stands one of the most famous buildings in history. Today we call it the Colosseum. But this was not its first name. Its real name was the Flavian Amphitheater, named after the Flavian emperors who built it. So where does the name Colosseum come from? Near this great arena once stood a giant statue of Emperor Nero. This statue was called the Colossus. It was very tall and easy to see. Over time, people used the name of the statue for the building nearby. Slowly, the Flavian Amphitheater became known as the Colosseum, a name remembered around the world today. 2. Rome before the Colosseum. Before the Colosseum was built, Rome was already a great and powerful city. It was full of temples, markets, and busy streets. People came from many places to live and work there. Rome was rich, loud, and full of life. The Roman people loved games and entertainment. They enjoyed watching fights, races, and public shows. These events were important in daily life. They helped people forget about hard work and problems. At that time, Rome did not have a large stone arena. Most shows were held in open fields or old wooden buildings. Some events took place in the Roman Forum or temporary spaces. However, these places had many problems. When it rained, the ground became wet and unsafe. On hot days, people suffered under the strong sun. There was not enough space for large crowds. Wooden seats were weak and sometimes dangerous. As Rome grew bigger, people wanted a better place. They dreamed of a strong, safe building for games, a place for everyone. But that dream had not come true yet. 3. Emperor Nero and the Golden House. In the year 64 AD, a great fire burned through Rome. The fire lasted for many days and destroyed large parts of the city. Many people lost their homes and had nowhere to live. Fear and sadness filled the streets of Rome. At that time, Emperor Nero was in power. After the fire, instead of helping the poor, Nero made a shocking choice. He took land from people who lost their homes. This land was in the center of the city. On this land, Nero built a huge palace called the Golden House, or Domus Aurea. It was filled with gold gardens and beautiful rooms. There was even an artificial lake inside the palace area. Near the palace stood a giant statue of Nero himself. The Golden House showed Nero's love for luxury and power, but the people were angry. They were poor, homeless, and hungry. Nero lived in duty while they suffered. This anger slowly grew stronger. The Golden House became a symbol of injustice. Rome was waiting for change. 4. The fall of Nero and a new beginning. In the year 68 AD, Emperor Nero died. His death marked the end of a dark time in Roman history. Many people felt relief when they heard the news. They believed Rome could finally change. Nero had ruled with fear and excess. He spent money on himself, not on the people. After the Great Fire, his actions made people angry and tired. They no longer trusted him or his rule. After Nero's death, Rome entered a period of confusion. Several emperors came and went in a short time. This year became known as the Year of the Four Emperors. The city was unstable, and the people were unsure of the future. Despite the chaos, one thing was clear. The people wanted change. They wanted leaders who cared about Rome, not about luxury. They wanted public spaces, safety, and respect. The new emperors understood this feeling. They knew they must rule differently from Nero. They also knew that Nero's golden house was a problem. It stood on land taken from the people. To move forward, Rome needed a new beginning. The land had to return to the people. A symbol of pride had to replace a symbol of greed. 5. Emperor Vespasian's decision. After years of chaos, Vespasian became emperor in 69 AD. He founded a new ruling family called the Flavian dynasty. Unlike Nero, Vespasian was practical and disciplined. He focused on stability, not luxury. Vespasian knew Rome was weak and divided. The people had lost trust in their leaders. If he wanted peace, he had to win their hearts. He needed to show that Rome now belonged to everyone. Vespasian made a powerful decision. He chose to destroy parts of Nero's golden house. He ordered the artificial lake to be filled in. This land would no longer serve one man. Instead, Vespasian planned something new. He wanted to build a public arena for the people, a place for games, shows, and shared joy, a place where rich and poor could gather together. This idea was both smart and symbolic. It returned stolen land to the public. It also reminded people that the emperor served Rome. Around 72 AD, construction began. Stone by stone, the Colosseum started to rise. A new chapter in Roman history had begun. 6. Bread in circuses, political purpose. In ancient Rome, leaders understood the power of entertainment. There was a famous idea called bread in circuses. It meant giving people free food and free games. This helped keep the people happy and calm. The Colosseum was a perfect tool for this idea. The games were free for everyone. Poor and rich people could sit and watch together. For a few hours, they forgot about taxes, war, and hunger. The emperors used entertainment as political power. When people enjoyed the games, they felt grateful. They cheered for the emperor who paid for the shows. This created loyalty and support. Large crowds also helped control public opinion. When thousands of people felt the same emotions, it was easier to guide their thoughts. Excitement replaced anger. By giving the people fun and food, the emperors reduced protests and unrest. The Colosseum became more than a building. It was a way to rule without force. In this way, games were not just games. They were part of Roman politics and power. 7. Money and workers. Construction of the Colosseum began around 72 AD. It was a massive project that needed great wealth. The money did not come from taxes alone. Much of the funding came from Roman wars. After the Jewish War, Rome took gold and treasures. These spoils of war helped pay for the building. Thousands of workers were needed every day. Many of them were slaves. They carried heavy stones and worked long hours. Their lives were hard and often dangerous. Skilled workers also played an important role. Engineers, builders, and stone cutters shaped the arena. They followed careful plans and strict orders. The work was slow and exhausting. Accidents were common. Some workers were injured or killed. Still, the project continued for years. Everyone knew the building was important. Stone by stone, the Colosseum rose. It became a symbol of Roman strength and control. 8. Roman engineering and materials. The Colosseum is famous for its strong design. Roman builders used the best materials of their time. One main material was travertine stone. They also used brick and marble. Most important was Roman concrete. This concrete was very strong and long-lasting. It allowed builders to create large structures. The Romans used arches and vaults everywhere. These shapes spread weight evenly. They made the buildings stable and safe. Because of this smart design, the Colosseum could hold tens of thousands of people. It did not need many columns inside. Earthquakes, weather, and time damaged the building. Yet much of it still stands today. This shows the skill of Roman engineers. Their knowledge changed architecture forever. The Colosseum is not only a place of history. It is a lesson in engineering and strength. 9. Outside design and entrances. The outside of the Colosseum is grand and powerful. The building has 4 levels and is almost 50 meters high. From far away, people could see it rising over Rome. It showed strength, order, and Roman pride. Each level has a different style of columns. The lowest level uses the Doric style. The second level shows the Ionic style. The third level uses the Corinthian style, which is more decorative. The top level is simpler but still strong. This design was not only beautiful, it also showed Roman knowledge of balance and art. The repeated arches helped support the great weight. One of the most amazing features was the 80 entrances. Each entrance had a number. This helped guide people to their seats quickly. Because of this smart system, tens of thousands of people could enter or leave in minutes. There was less danger and less chaos. Modern stadiums still use this idea today. The Colosseum was built for large crowds. Every detail served a purpose. 10. The underground world, hypogeum. The floor of the Colosseum was made of wood. It was covered with sand, called arena in Latin. This sand absorbed blood and made cleaning easier. Below this floor was a hidden world. It was called the hypogeum. This underground area was full of tunnels and rooms. Here, animals and gladiators waited before the shows. Cages held lions, bears, and other wild beasts. Gladiators prepared for battle in dark spaces. The hypogeum had a clever system of lifts and pulleys. These were powered by human strength. Workers pulled ropes to move platforms up. Suddenly, animals or fighters could appear on the arena floor. This surprised and excited the crowd. The shows felt magical and dangerous. The audience never saw this world below, but without it, the games could not exist. The hypogeum was the heart of the Colosseum's drama. 11. The Valerium giant sun cover. Rome is famous for its hot and sunny weather. On summer days, the sun could be very strong. Sitting for hours in the Colosseum was not easy. The heat could make people tired and sick. To solve this problem, the Romans created the Valerium. It was a giant cloth roof made of large pieces of fabric. The Valerium did not cover the whole building, but it gave enough shade to protect the audience. This system was very complex. Strong poles and ropes were fixed to the top of the walls. The cloth was pulled across the open space. It moved like sails on a ship. Because of this, the Valerium was operated by Roman sailors. These men came from the imperial navy. They were experts with ropes, knots, and wind. They knew how to open and close the cloth safely. When the sun was too strong, the Valerium was opened. When the wind was dangerous, it was pulled back. Thanks to this system, people could enjoy the games longer. The Valerium shows Roman creativity. It proves they cared about comfort as well as power. 12. The Grand Opening, 80 AD. In 80 AD, the Colosseum was finally finished. Emperor Titus, the son of Vespasian, opened the great arena. He wanted to impress the people of Rome. The opening celebration was huge. The games lasted for 100 days. Every day, thousands of people filled the seats. Excitement and noise filled the air. Many kinds of shows were held. There were gladiator fights and animal hunts. Wild animals came from distant lands. Lions, tigers, and elephants were all part of the games. During these days, thousands of animals were killed. Many fighters also lost their lives. The bloodshed was terrible, but the crowd cheered. For Titus, these games showed power and control. They proved that Rome was rich and strong. They also helped Titus win the love of the people. The grand opening made the Colosseum famous at once. It became the heart of Roman entertainment. A new legend was born in the city of Rome. 13 seats and social classes. Inside the Colosseum, seating was not random. Every seat showed a person's place in Roman society. The arena was a mirror of the social order. The emperor had the best seat of all. He sat very close to the arena floor. From there, everyone could see him. This reminded the crowd who held power. Next to the emperor sat the senators. They were Rome's most important leaders. Their seats were also near the action. Behind them sat rich citizens and Roman knights. They had good views and comfortable seats. The closer you sat to the arena, the higher your status in society. The poor people sat higher up. Their seats were far from the arena floor. At the very top sat women and slaves. The view was worse, and the climb was long. This seating system was strict. People could not choose where to sit. Guards checked tickets and clothing. In this way, Roman society was clearly displayed. Even during entertainment, class rules remained strong. The Colosseum showed power, order, and inequality. 14 games, gladiators, and decline. The games in the Colosseum followed a clear order. In the morning, people watched venations or animal hunts. Hunters fought wild animals from Africa and Asia. These shows were dangerous and exciting. At midday, criminals were punished in public. These acts were meant to warn others. In the afternoon, the main event began. The gladiator fights drew the loudest cheers. Gladiators trained for years. Some were slaves, others were prisoners. A few fought by choice for fame and money. They became heroes in the eyes of the crowd. In the early years, there were even mock sea battles. The arena was filled with water. Small ships fought in front of amazed audiences. Over time, opinions began to change. Christianity spread across the Roman Empire. Many Christians opposed the violence. In 404 AD, gladiator games were banned. The Colosseum slowly fell silent. An era of blood and spectacle came to an end. 15 ruins, rediscovery, and legacy. After the fall of the Roman Empire, the Colosseum began to change. Without emperors and games, the great building lost its purpose. Over time, earthquakes struck Rome. Strong tremors caused walls and arches to fall. Large parts of the structure were badly damaged. People no longer saw the Colosseum as a symbol of pride. Instead, they used it as a source of stone. Blocks of travertine were taken away. They were used to build churches, palaces, and homes. Even famous buildings in Rome used Colosseum stone. For many centuries, the arena stood in silence. Plants grew between broken walls. Animals lived inside the ruins. The past seemed forgotten. In the 1800s, people began to look again. Historians and archaeologists studied the site. They worked to protect what remained. The Colosseum was no longer a ruin to use, but a treasure to save. Today, the Colosseum is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Millions of visitors come every year. They walk through history and memory. The Colosseum teaches important lessons. It shows the power of great empires and the danger of violence used for entertainment. Hey there, just a second before you go. If you learned something new today, please give this video a like, write your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel. It only takes a second, and it really helps to create even better English videos for you. Your support means the world. Thank you.